5 most disturbing Reddit posts. Disturbing Reddit.
In November of 2013, a Reddit account that's since been deleted made a post on the Let's Not Meet subreddit. r/Let's Not Meet is a subreddit where people share actual true scary encounters they've experienced.
Okay.
The poster explains how he had just found the subreddit and wanted to post an experience of his own. He lived in Brisbane, Australia at the time. He recalls how his dad had just purchased Foxtel, which was cable TV in Australia. Only the TV in the lounge room could use the cable box, but the poster really wanted to use it in his room downstairs.
Well, I know what would be the UK horror to this. Getting a letter with the massive capital letters saying, "You are fined for not having a TV license. 1,000 Great British pounds."
He didn't want to buy a second cable box, so he instead opted to buy an AV transmitter, a much cheaper option. An AV transmitter was basically a 2-part piece of hardware. One piece would connect to the cable box upstairs in the lounge room, and the other would connect to the TV back downstairs.
Okay.
It would then transmit a wireless signal. This would allow him to receive a video signal to his TV downstairs.
This is looking so much like a Roomba.
The first image in the post shows the TV in the room on the dresser.
Is it gonna stop moving?
The poster goes on to explain how he and his sister were the only ones home when he decided he wanted to try and set it up. He connected the AV transmitter to the cable box upstairs and to his TV downstairs, but it wasn't working. He tried changing the channel, switching around the cables, nothing was working. That's when he remembered that the cable box upstairs wasn't even plugged in, so obviously it wasn't gonna work.
Right, yeah.
But the screen then started fuzzing in. After a while, a bedroom could be seen on the TV.
Wait, I thought you said it wasn't plugged in.
Immediately, he pulled out his phone and took a picture. At first, he thought it was his bedroom, so he ran out.
Oh my god.
Went upstairs to tell his sister. They later went back down. The TV was still getting a signal, but they had no idea how. The AV receiver plugged in was somehow receiving a live feed.
Huh?
They were able to confirm that it wasn't the poster's bedroom, or any bedroom in the house.
Well, that's good.
They waited until their parents got home, and when they did, they told them about it. All of them went down to the TV. This time, there was a man in the bedroom. The poster took another picture. He then explained how his dad recognized the man as one of their neighbors.
Oh!
Somehow the AV transmitter was receiving their neighbor's camera feed.
Oh!
None of them really knew what to do. This went on for a week, and they started feeling kind of weird having access to this.
Wait. Wait, you're telling me you was accessing your neighbor's live feed for their bedroom for a week and didn't tell them or turn it off? That's kind of creepy in itself. Like, I'm not being funny, right? I'm not being funny, but if I turned on my TV and it was my next door neighbor, I'm going to be like, yo, first of all, I'm turning this off. Secondly, I'm going to my neighbor and just telling him, giving him a heads up, look. Like, I turned on my TV and it connected to your live feed of your camera. I just want you to know, bro. Like, that's weird.
The poster went on to explain how their neighbors had been having renovations done to their house. Workers would be at the place pretty much all day. They again tried turning on the TV to fix the signal. It was still showing their neighbor's bedroom. But this time they saw their neighbor's plumber. Eventually he went right up to the camera and looked directly down the lens. He started messing with it before putting it back. The poster's dad told their neighbor about the camera.
Okay.
But they had no idea what he was talking about.
Hey, good, you communicated.
He convinced them to let him go up to the room to try and find the camera.
Wait, so they didn't even pull it there? The plumber did, and then the plumber set up the Wi-Fi so he can access it to spy on and... Yo, this is why you need to tell your neighbors. Yo. Whoever's connected to my PC during this moment in time, you're not funny, mate. I'm literally live on Twitch on TV. You can just join my Twitch stream. You don't need to connect to my PC like this. Bro, like, they need to leave me alone. The beeping. Why would it happen there and then?
Hidden in the wall, he did find it. They immediately called the police.
That's creepy.
The poster didn't hear anything more for the next week, but they eventually asked their neighbors whatever came of the situation. Apparently, the police camped out by the house each night and found that one car in particular would always park right next to it at the same time. A man inside would pull up his laptop, but not get out of the car. He would drive off before the sun came up.
What?
The man was discovered to be the plumber, the man who planted the camera. That's where the post ends.
Ugh.
In a reply comment, the poster confirmed the man was arrested, but he doesn't mention what he all got charged with.
What a creep. Hey, yo, people need to start getting, like, we need to start making it normal. When you have work done on your house or people come into your house that you don't know, do you have like a electronic detector? You just gotta see, bro, because people are weird. People are actually weird.
This post was a reply comment in an Ask Reddit thread. The original question read, "What is the creepiest thing that has ever actually happened to you?" One of the top comments is a guy who recalls a set of disturbing experiences he had throughout his life. He says they're 100% true, and even shares a video he took as supporting evidence. He starts by sharing an experience he had when he was 8 years old. It was 11 p.m., and he was walking his dog with his mom out in his neighborhood, which was in Lansing, Michigan. He said it was quiet that night, but all of a sudden he could hear this whistling sound coming from a nearby swamp. His mom heard it too. He said at first it sounded like a bird, but the whistle had a more human-like tone and wasn't really consistent, making him think it was a person. He remembers his mom looking very concerned and immediately changing directions back towards the house. That was the first experience. The second happened 2 years later. He was again taking his dog for a walk out late at night, but this time alone. He heard the whistling again and immediately remembered how he felt the first time he heard it 2 years ago. He sprinted back to the house. Nothing would happen for years after that. He was now 24 and had moved away from Michigan to South Dakota. For the 4th of July, he and his girlfriend decided to sit along the bank of the Missouri River at a somewhat popular spot to watch fireworks from a distance.
They're gonna hear it again, aren't they?
Most of the other people had moved upriver to get a better view, leaving them pretty much alone. That's when he once again heard whistling, reminding him of the 2 experiences he had years ago now when he was a kid. This time, he pulled out his phone and started recording. It picked up the whistling. He attached the recording to his reply comment.
Oh god, this is gonna be creepy. Yo, it could just be a coincidence. It could just be like someone walking a dog or having a walk, a stroll, and it's the same type of whistling. That's what I'd like it to be. Where's the noise coming from though? Like,
is it you?
He questions his
that's
girlfriend,
quite loud.
hoping that this time it was just her. But it wasn't her. The whistling continues, until eventually the 2 of them hear slight paddling out in the water. He turns the camera, and in the darkness you can just barely make out a man in a canoe slowly paddling towards them.
oh! That whistle's not coming from all the way over there though. You would have heard that. What? Would
That's
you
where
hear
the video
that?
ends. But he did say that when the man got close enough to the shore, he stood up and yelled out, "Who are you?" To this, the man then simply turned around and started slowly paddling back towards the way he came without saying a word.
That is so weird.
That was the last time he ever heard the whistling. He still doesn't know what to make of it.
That
I think
is
someone
so...
who stalked him all those years from Michigan to South Dakota doesn't exactly seem the most likely. But it's still possible. He basically ends the reply comment with many unanswered questions. Like, who was the guy in the canoe? And was it the same guy he heard whistling when he was a kid? What does the guy want from him? He doesn't know the answers to these questions.
Yeah, no, that's very creepy, but it very much can, like, whistling is very universal, right? Like, very common, okay? So, it's very creepy. However, it being linked to when he was a kid, I highly doubt. Like, it could just be some guy that wants a canoe with the fireworks and he's just whistling his head off. Do you know what I mean?
But he says that he still worries that he might sometime hear the whistling again.
That is so creepy, though.
I wanted to take a minute to talk about this video's custom title. Exact one source that you can get all of This was Roommate Wanted, Female Only. This was the title.
Okay, bro, this is already a red flag. Like, I really this is already a red flag, right? Because, like, yes, it could be another female in there and they don't want males to be a roommate, sure. But, like, to me, right? Like, maybe if I was a female, I wouldn't put... Well, I don't know, actually. Would you? I don't know. It depends who the person is. Like, if it's a male saying this, then very, very red flag. If it's a female, then maybe valid. Yeah.
Of a Reddit post uploaded almost 10 years ago now. It refers to the title of a Craigslist ad a girl named Amanda had seen while looking for a place to rent. The post consists of her detailed experience. Amanda was browsing the internet when she came across the ad. The listing was for a room in a house for $225 a month, which was pretty cheap for the area.
That is cheap.
The occupant listed herself as a 23-year-old college student who wasn't comfortable living with any males.
Okay, so it is a... Okay, so it is a female.
Amanda would get her own room and bathroom.
Right.
The only thing was the Craigslist ad only had one picture. It was a picture of the outside of the house.
Another red flag.
There were no pictures of the inside.
Red flag.
But still interested, Amanda sent an email to the occupant. In less than an hour, she got an email back with all the details and the time to stop by. The time said 8 p.m., past when it would have gotten dark. In the email, the occupant said this was because she worked late. So, that night at 8 p.m., Amanda arrived at the house. She walked up to the front door and was met by a handwritten note that said, "Door broken, use back door."
Oh, no. Just, yo. Just turn around. Just turn around. Too many red flags.
She started walking around towards the back.
Oh, God.
And as she did, she noticed how unkempt the place looked.
Oh, God.
The windows were covered in dust, and the grass was way overgrown.
You don't want to live there.
She knocked on the back door. An older man opened it.
Yeah.
At first, she thought she was at the wrong house, but the guy went on to explain how he was the landlord, and that the occupant asked him to show her around.
No!
The post described him as clearly in his 40s, unshaven, and a guy who looked like he lived in his car. A bit hesitant, Amanda stepped inside and allowed the man to give her a tour.
Oh, God.
Immediately, she noticed the place had no furniture whatsoever. There was only one light on, the light in the kitchen. The landlord would answer questions, but was irritable to keeping lights on for too long. He rushed her around, only letting her look in rooms for a few seconds. They eventually got to one room that the landlord wouldn't open. He said it was the occupant's room and that she wouldn't want them to go in there. As they were heading back to the living room, Amanda noticed a plank nailed across the front door. She tried to get out of there, thanking the owner for the tour and heading back towards the back door. That's when the man perked up and mentioned how he forgot to show her the basement.
Oh,
He
yeah.
explained how it was just recently furnished and would make for a great rec room. He was standing between her and the back door. She felt like she had no other choice. He opened the basement door, saying, "Ladies first," as he motioned her downstairs.
Oh, my God.
Just then, an unrelated car parked outside on the street. At the exact same time, Amanda received a text on her phone. She pretended it was a call and faked a conversation about her friend being outside waiting to pick her up. She quickly excused herself, leaving the back door and now full-on sprinting to her car.
Okay, you are so lucky that car pulled up and you thought quick on the spot because you was done for. You were so done.
When she got home, she called the cops. She tried going back to the Craigslist ad, but it was deleted. It turns out the house had been foreclosed over 6 months earlier. The property was completely abandoned. There was never any real occupant or any real room to rent.
Of course.
The room the man didn't want to show her on the tour turned out to be the room he lived in. But the worst part was the basement. Police found a piece of fishing line at shin level strewn across the stairs about halfway down.
What?
There was no furniture down there as the man had said. There was nothing but a pile of old blankets.
Wait, is that fishing line so she trips halfway down and then hits her head and stuff? It's a tripwire. It's so she trips.
It's a broom handle wrapped in leather belts and a small box with rolls of duct tape. The poster never mentioned if the man was caught or not.
Man, that is actually terrifying. Like how close she was to being locked in here. That is terrifying, and people just need more common sense and like not go through with every plan. Like, yeah, you have a plan and this seems good to be living here, but there's other options. And when you have so many red flags like this, no. Red flag, no. Listen, like, right, females only, be cautious. Right? Be cautious. No pictures on the inside, red flag. Maybe move on. You pull up and the front door is broke, go to the back door at 8 p.m. What are you doing there? What are you actually doing there? And then you're still going?
In 2014, Jenny, a single mother, would make a post on
Yeah,
Reddit
or don't go
titled
alone.
Experience using Sleep as Android app. Sleep as Android is an app that's supposed to help you improve your sleeping habits. It's basically a more
Maybe you
advanced
just don't go
It'll
alone.
track
That's
your
good.
sleep
Like,
cycles and wake you up at the most beneficial time. One
Go
of the
with
features
someone.
of the app is that it records audio during the night. In the post, Jenny explains how she had the app for a few months. She would sometimes review the audio, but all she ever heard was herself coughing, moving around in bed, stuff like that.
right.
That was until one night, when at 2:04 a.m., the app caught something different. Jenny was going through the recordings to delete them when she found it. She posted the audio along with the Reddit post.
What are you doing? Okay.
What's that?
Okay.
Is that a sleep
Clearly,
talk?
a male voice can be heard responding to Jenny's sleep talking.
Wait, what? That was...
Okay. Okay.
That was to me, that sounded like her.
What are you doing? Okay. Okay.
Clearly, a male voice can be heard responding to Jenny's sleep talking. She
I don't know if that's male, but yeah, that's...
says, "What are you doing?" To which
Could you change your voice, switch your voice up, sleep talking? So like in her sleep talk, could she be like, "What are you doing?" Nothing. Like, could you do that? That's very weird in itself if you could. That's very creepy in itself, changing it up, but like...
another voice quickly replies, "Nothing." Some clicking sounds then start up before the voice speaks again, although it's not clear what's said this time. The only two people in the room that night were Jenny and her 3-year-old. But the voice that's talking sounds much deeper, something that neither Jenny or her 3-year-old could have replicated. One Redditor took it so far as to test this. In a post titled, "The voice in the famous sleep app recording is not the woman talking to herself. He gives proof to prove his point." He basically goes into detail about how the human voice works.
Okay.
The pitch of the voice in the audio clip couldn't have been replicated by the woman.
Okay.
Her voice was just too high. He even reached out to her and got further samples of her voice to confirm this. This led many to believe that she was the victim of a home invasion, and that someone was in the process of searching her bedroom for things to steal.
Oh my god.
But to this day,
That's my worst fucking nightmare. That is my worst goddamn nightmare, bro. Like, rob me when I'm out. Rob me when I'm not there. Don't be when I'm sleeping, don't be around. Nah, that's terrifying. Like, even if I woke up and there was someone in the room, I'm gonna die of a heart attack. Buy a gun, buddy, I live in the UK. What am I gonna do? Hit them with a wooden teaspoon? Come on now. I'm British, mate.
we still don't know. The man in the audio clip was never identified. The original poster has since moved to a different house.
I would as well. I would as well. If I heard someone
2012,
else's voice on a recording, I'm gone.
An Ask Reddit thread was posted with the title, "What is the creepiest true story someone has ever told you?" A comment that has since been deleted by the user recounts an experience her parents had told her, where they had unknowingly encountered the serial killer Ted Bundy on their first date.
What?
It was around the time in the day where the two would have said goodnight, when the male in the situation suggested they go for a midnight hike up Provo Canyon in Utah. He was familiar with the place and didn't want the date to end, so he figured it was a good idea. She agreed, so they drove up to the mouth of the canyon, got out, and started hiking with only the light provided by the moon. The two started getting a bad feeling when they came up to a section of path under some trees, which had no access to light. The path was almost pitch black, but they continued on. As they kept walking, the man felt his foot hit something soft directly in the middle of the path. It was too dark to see anything.
Oh, I have heard this story is famous. This story is famous. I've heard about this story on a different channel. I think we've seen it on Mr. Ballin or something. We've definitely seen it somewhere. Yep, they're walking, body. I'm not gonna spoil for people that haven't seen it. Very famous
Felt
story.
his foot hit something soft
Very
directly in the
famous.
middle of the path.
Yep.
It was too dark to see anything. Instead of inspecting it, the both of them agreed to turn around and run back to the car. They soon forgot about it, until many years later, after being married for some time, when they were watching an interview with Ted Bundy around the time he had been captured. The interviewer asked him to describe the time that he felt the closest to being caught. Ted Bundy proceeded to explain the night that he lured a girl into Provo Canyon and took her life. He said that shortly after, he heard a couple walking up the trail and managed to hide in the trees just before they would have been able to see him.
Mad.
A man then walked directly into the woman's body, but for some reason just turned around and walked away.
Mad.
That night, the poster's father had walked directly into a corpse without even realizing it.
Wow.
The serial killer Ted Bundy was only feet away from him, and he had no idea. That was where the...
Listen, that could have ended so many different ways. That could have been, you know, they were successful. They fought off Ted Bundy. He got arrested. No one else died. Or they could have ended up dead. Like, that could have gone either way. That is crazy.
reply comment ended.
That's mental. That's terrifying.